David, what's one thing you believe insurers need to prioritize in the next year if they want to stay competitive and get ahead?
Yeah. The easy answer would be AI. And I think most people would say that. As I thought about this one, I really think it's focusing on the customer. And it sounds elemental, but it really is true. Customers have more choices than ever, and price is probably more important than ever with
Mm,
various economic forces we have. So if you're thinking about your customer in terms of a risk class or policies in force, or claimants or whatever quoters, like you need to think about that person. Who is that person? And the how that shows up in your marketing copy, how that shows up in your personas, how that shows up in your emails, right? Really from the very beginning that they talk to you all the way through the claim cycle and the claim process. And so I know most carriers have gotten their pricing squared away. I would argue like the hard market is behind us. Everyone's sort of taken their rate and we're moving forward. Um, but it's really critical to think about that customer and that customer journey. And so how you're reaching them, what their experience is, right? All of that. And so I would say the continued focus on the customer journey, if there are things identifying friction points in that customer journey and things that prioritizing the most important barriers to serving that customer in the best way you can, like that to me would be what they need to prioritize in the next year. What's your biggest barrier to making the customer journey a successful one? I don't know if AI is the answer. Maybe AI is, right? Maybe more likely is your data in a place that's actionable where you can enable a good customer experience. So to me, it's really um, sort of a self-reflection on where your business is at and where it wants to go and what's the biggest barrier to getting there. So to me, it's got to always come back to that customer, whatever year it is. If we're selling insurance in the 1920s or we're selling insurance in the 2050s, it still is going to be about that customer and the journey they expect and what your competitors are doing. So in my mind, that's really where I'd anchor. I know it's in a way a non-answer because it's not ultra specific, but to me, that's that it's got to start there in my mind.
I couldn't agree more. I always found was interesting to me that not 10 or 15 years ago, we were talking about risks and policyholders. And it's
Right.
so wonderful to hear the word customer used because that's so familiar to us in other industries, right? So we need to treat that risk
Right.
as an actual person or policyholder, right? And the full life cycle of that. So no complaints from me with that answer. I
Yeah.
think that's spot on. And
Yeah.
if
The
you come
one.
back to that, that'll help you make better decisions about all of the other things that you're going to do to stay competitive.